Hey all, my name is Blue Jockman VA, and we're back with another Fate tier list today. I didn't want to flood my channel with these too fast, because I'd already uploaded two of them in November. But I saw how well those were doing, so you guys seem to respond to them pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and do tier lists for all the different classes in Fate Grand Order as well. Now, quick reminder, this is an opinion-based tier list. I'm going to put that in the thumbnail this time because it seems like a lot of people click on these thinking they're going to be like order of strongest characters. And for, just the show characters, I don't think it's a huge issue, but I understand a lot of people do look for Grand Order tier lists in terms of actual like meta value. So I'm going to put it in the thumbnail and say right now again that this is an opinion-based tier list of the characters, not their capabilities. It's not power scaling, nothing of the sort. So with that said, let's go ahead and start ranking. So the first character we have to work with here is Saber Alter, who personally, let me think. I really, really do like Saber Alter, and it helps that Heaven Seal Part 2 came out recently, like within the last year or so, and I really do love that movie. She also has one of my favorite Bond 10 essences in the game, so I'm going to put her in A tier. I think she's a really, really cool character, and I would love to see more of her in the future. I adore her design, and her color palette on her Ascension art is just fantastic. Arthur is... For me, I want to put him in B tier, because I haven't really seen enough of him. Keep in mind, I have a hard time reading Fate Grand Order story because of the way my eyes work, so it's difficult for me to read a lot of stuff involved with these characters and their roles in the Fate Grand Order story specifically. A lot of these I'm going off of the little bits of the story I have read, along with their impressions from the gameplay, and what I've read about them online as well. Or any other appearances they made in other Fate content. Arthur would be awesome if we had an actual animated series for him. I think Fate Prototype would be a really cool series, but unfortunately all we have of it is the OVA and the novel series that is not available in English, which unfortunately I can't really do anything about because they haven't published it in a language that I can read. So, yeah. Saber Lily is, for me, shit. Okay, I love Saber Lily because she is one of the first characters I ever played with in my first Fate Grand Order profile, and she's just cute. Okay, I'm allowed to like her. I love the fact that she uses Caliburn as well. I think that's a really cool detail, and I love Caliburn as an idea. Um, I don't know. I like a lot of things about Saber Lily. I think she's also I love her Ascension designs. I love the black and white aesthetic she has going on. It looks really nice. Um, Classic Arturia is A tier again, because she's got a lot of cool stuff going on. She's been in enough Fate stuff to have a lot of fleshing out to her character. I just wish she had some more important stuff to do in Fate Grand Order proper. Like, she's still one of the weakest characters in FGO 5-star wise, and that makes me less inclined to ever pick her, which means I haven't formed as big of a bond with her because literally Saber Alter is better than her in gameplay. That's so weird. But regardless, Altera, to add a caveat to this, I want it to be clear. I'm ranking Altera based on Altera, not Attila. I consider Altera to be her own character in Fate because of all, Mooncell weird space stuff going on with her. And I'm not a huge fan of Fate Extra, but I know enough about her from Fate Grand Order to still like her a decent amount. I would say that if I have to rank Altera based on just Altera, I'd put her in B tier, if not maybe A. I really do like her design. I think that she's a very aesthetically pleasing servant with some really good art. I wish that she wasn't so skimpy because she's supposed to be Attila the Hun, and that makes it really difficult for me to take her seriously as Attila the Hun. But as her own design by herself, I think she's cool. I love her sword. I think it's really cool. But I consider her more of her own OC kind of thing than I do actually Attila the Hun. So, yeah, that's my opinion of her. Bedivere, A tier. Bedivere is a fantastically designed servant with some really cool stuff. I can't wait to see him appear in Camelot. And he's also, I think, one of the coolest 3-star sabers in the game, if not one of the coolest 3 stars in the game. And I just like Bedivere a lot. I also like his design quite a bit. I do like the idea of his prosthetic arm. I think that's really cool. I don't know enough about his role in some of the Fate Grand Order interludes and whatnot that he's been in, just because, again, I have a very difficult time reading Fate Grand Order story because of the way my eyes process images. But I do still really love Bedivere as a character, and I'd love to see him in more stuff. Chevalier I put in B. I hope I'm pronouncing Chevalier correctly. But they've got some really cool stuff going on. I like their design quite a bit. I think that they have a very nice voice. And generally, I do like Chevalier. It's just, again, I'd like to see them in something animated so I can, increase my own opinion of them. I'm putting Saber Liz in no. Um, because I love Liz in general, and Saber Liz is, like, well written. Uh, I hate her design with a passion, and it wouldn't have been difficult to fix. I know why it is that way. It's, to play off of the whole, oh, video game RPG characters have, like, really skimpy armor, and that doesn't make any sense. Oh, well, Liz is doing that now because she's a parody of, like, dungeon crawlers and whatnot in this event. But I really don't like her design. I never have. I really wish they just gave her, like, some shorts and a shirt, and that would be enough. Like, really, I'm not asking for magic here. I just wish she was better dressed. But as for Fergus, is there? Can I can't make another tier. If I could, I'd make a Brock from Pokemon tier. But Fergus is all right. I think he's a funny character. I did actually read. I think it was his interlude, which has him going and trying to, like, make it with a bunch of other servants. And I think that was a really funny interlude. It's one of my favorites, just because it was, like, actually amusing to me. But Fergus is a really cool character. It's difficult to love him as much as others because he's not really my kind of character in terms of design, and I think his sword looks ridiculous. But I do like him enough. I think he's kind of cool. Saber Fran, EX tier. If not A, but I'm putting her in EX because I love Fran. And I think Fate Grand Order does some wonderful things for her. I'm not really a huge fan of her later designs, but I love her first Ascension in particular. Well, actually, I don't really know about her second because I forget what her second looks like, but her first Ascension design looks fantastic, IMO. She's one of my favorite summer servants. I think she's really cool, and I love me a good quick saber. So yeah. Julius is another no because he looks like a Danganronpa character, and I hate it. I don't like his arm. I don't like his Danganronpa-ness. I don't like that he reminds me of Fat Byakuya Togami. He doesn't belong on this list, so I'm putting him in no. Gawain. Gawain's hard. I'm gonna put him. B tier. I love Gawain's actual lore. I love the whole story of Gawain and the Green Knight. One of my favorite Heather Dale songs is actually Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. But I think that Gawain in Fate proper has a lot that could be done with him that hasn't been. I think maybe my opinion of him will change in Camelot. I did not like him in Fate Extra Last Encore, but I did not like Fate Extra Last Encore in general, so that's not really fair. But I think B tier is an okay place for him. He's going to stay there. You all know what the jail tier's for. Lancelot is, I'd say, an A tier character. I do like the idea of being able to see Lancelot in his prime. I like that his armor goes from being like the Dark Knight design he has in Berserker form to being the lighter color in his final Ascensions. And just in general, I think Lancelot is a really cool Fate character. If he was Berserker, I maybe would put him in EX, but he's Saber, so I'm putting him in A. He may go back up to EX after the Camelot movies come out, but again, I don't know yet. Is Camelot one movie or is it a trilogy again? That's a question for later. Point is, though, next character, Musashi. Musashi, I'm putting her in EX because I love her eye patch design, and I think that just in general, there's a ton of cool stuff going on with her. I appreciate that we actually have a dual wielder in Fate Grand Order because we have sparingly few of those besides, like, Archer, and he doesn't count. Those short swords are tiny. I think Musashi is really, really cool. I love her design with the eye patch. I wish that was an actual costume we could give her. I think she's awesome. I wish I had her in my game. Mordred is again EX tier because it's Mordred and I adore her. I already went over my reasons for that in my Apocrypha Servants tier list, which I will link in the end card of this video. But yeah. Now, Nero Bride. It's really hard. Because I didn't play Fate Extra. I really hate Last Encore, but hot damn do I love Nero Bride's design. I think that it's just so cute. It's so cute, and yet weirdly looks like a character that I'd want to roll. Normal Nero, I'm putting in like C tier. Because honestly, some stuff about her just annoys me sometimes, but I do like her. She clearly likes me. I have her at NP4, and I've never actually intended to roll her, but whatever. I do think that her design for the Nerofest outfit looks cute, but her voice lines get very grating over time. I ended up switching her back to her original costume just because I couldn't take listening to her voice lines over and over again. Soji is my favorite Saber face. I adore her design. I like how her hair is actually pink, and I like the idea of a Sakura Saber being a thing. I love her color palette. I love her jacket. I love her with the white and black. And again, I love me a quick saber. Okita is one of my favorite sabers in the game. I really do love her. Rama, I don't really know that much about, and I hate to admit that, but I just don't. And I like him enough. I think his design is kind of cool, but it's difficult to form an opinion when I really just know almost nothing about the character. This placement could very easily change. But I'm putting him in C tier just because I don't know enough about him. Shiki I'll put in B. And I do love Ryoki Shiki, don't get me wrong. But my main problem with Shiki is just that Garden of Sinners has a very similar problem to Last Encore. And that is that it tends to do the Nasuverse thing, where it gets high on its own fumes way more than it really has any right to. And that makes watching Garden of Sinners very hard for me, because instead of just going over basic story and character stuff all the time, which is what a good story should do, it's constantly discussing its own lore, and that's boring to me. Show your lore, sure, but don't discuss it and expect me to internalize anything. And I feel like that's most of what Garden of Sinners and especially Last Encore tend to be. And I'm not a fan of that, which is why I have a bit of a tainted view of Shiki, especially Void Shiki, because I do love the scene in I think it's movie 5, whichever one it is, where Shiki actually uses the sword. And I do love the idea of an instant death saber, which is cool. I love instant death characters in Fate Grand Order because I think they're fun. But I do have a bit of a stigmatized view of Saber Shiki just because of my opinion of Garden of Sinners. Now, Suzuka is B tier. I don't really know as much about Suzuka as I'd like to, but I do really like her design. I love her different ascensions. My main first impression of her was her battle in Nerofest, and I wanted to pull my own hair out at that fight because it took me so many tries. I had to soft reset the game so many times to undo the last turn before it finalized. It was hell trying to beat her fight. But I am like fond of her. I think her design is cool and everything. She's just not necessarily my favorite character among the Sabers. Speaking of my favorite character among the Sabers, Siegfried is EX tier. Siegfried is, matter of fact, can I make a tier above EX real quick? Can I do that real quick? Hold on, add row above. There we go. New Sumanai, and I'm going to move Siegfried into this tier. Oh, I can make extra tiers. Damn it, I should have made a G. Hold on, no wait, I can do more of this. Add row below. Oh boy, this is a power I should not have been granted. Looks like a Danganronpa character looking ass. I just moved my microphone. I hope I didn't catch. Bam. Um, I just wanted to do that. There was no other motivation. All right, so I hope you guys liked this tier list. I'm probably going to do this for every kind of servant. When I do the extra classes, I'll probably just lump them all into one because there's not enough of any given one of them to do a whole list. But I did want to keep doing tier lists because I wanted to keep making content you guys would want to watch, and because those last two did really, really, really well. And I love talking about my opinions in like a quick, easily recordable, and condensed format like this. But we'll see about what other topics I can cover. I know a lot of you wanted me to cover the series, the different anime and everything, and rank those. I know a lot of people want me to cover Noble Phantasms, and we'll see how that works out. But I figured covering the Servants and Fate Grand Order one class at a time was probably my smartest next move. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be back next week with, in all likelihood, a Lancers tier list or something similar.